Welcome back to Minecraft. I am Fireweaver, and with me is Rolf again. Hello.
Hello.
Right, so this episode we're going to be splitting up. Rolf is going to do some MFR, and I'm going to do some Botania.
Yay.
So the first thing I'm going to do, although I don't really need it, is grab the Botania book, which is cool. Luckily for us, a few weeks ago, Rolf put the hard work in and made a whole bunch of petals using Agricraft. So that's going to be useful for us. But
Yeah, we came prepared.
we did come prepared, yeah. So one of the first things that you need is to get started is something called a petal apothecary. And I actually need to go and grab some of these petals to make one, apparently. Or at least one petal. There we go. And I think I also need some slabs. So let me grab some cobble slabs. I'll actually make 60 of them, so I've got them ready for future recipes. Right, and a petal apothecary. Done. So the petal apothecary is used as the basics of making any flour. And although I don't have many seeds here, there's like 9 seeds. Yeah, that might be a problem, Rolf. We've only got 9 seeds. I'm going to take 5 of them. And maybe allow you to use the other 4 to grow more seeds for me.
Yeah, sure.
And the petal apothecary I'm just going to place here for now. We may end up moving it. You fill it with water, and that's how you get started with the crafting. So the first thing that you always want to make from Botania is called a pure daisy. And normally you'd end up having to look in the book on how to make all of this stuff, but we actually don't need to, because we've got an add-on for NEI so that it actually will pick up the recipes in Botania, which is very nice. I'm going to chuck 4 petals into the petal apothecary. You can see them swimming in there. And finally we chuck a seed on top to give us the flower that we need. So first things first, plant the pure daisy. And the reason I actually came with 2 is so that, or 2 lots, is I always like to have a couple, like so.
Damn.
And this one will have to go here with some more dirt. 1, 2, 3. Great, that probably completes the quest already if I was to guess Botania. And the quest books, so let me check. And botanical engineering, we have made ourselves the petal apothecary, which gives us mystical light blue. That's fine. And now it wants us to make living wood and living rock, which is actually what these pure daisies are for. So let me go and grab a couple of things out of our ME system. And that is stone and oak wood. Like so. There we go. I'm just going to eat a sandwich. And I'm going to surround this flower with oak wood. And I'm going to surround this flower with stone. And I know the stone looks odd. It's because I'm using a texture pack. It's a very subtle texture pack, which is why it may not have been obvious I was using one, but we are. It's a high-res texture pack just to make it all that cooler. Right, I'll wait like 30 seconds for this process to complete. How are you getting on, Rolf? Looks like you're making gears.
Yeah, I had to cast some... yeah.
Yeah.
The gold gears are still recipes.
Okay.
Or aren't recipes.
No, I was just seeing if there's anything else in here I need to worry about, but Yeah, mostly I'm worried about the amount of seeds that we have, which will be a problem very soon. Apparently I haven't scanned oak wood, and I could probably try and scan this Botania flower. Yay. Maybe the water barrel and the petal apothecary. Nice. Have I wasted enough time for this to be finished yet? Apparently not. Oh, here they turn. Here they go.
Needs.
Now, part of the problem is that you often get syncing issues that these may not be ready. So the way to test it is place a block down on top of it, and if it doesn't, if it changes, then it's not actually ready. You'll be able to see. It basically forces a block update. But apparently this server is running sweet as at the moment, so actually the block updates are good and they're not faking it on our client. Okay, good. So in the quest book, we've now made enough of each to pick a reward. And one of the rewards is Wander the Forest, which is always useful. That's the equivalent of a wrench for Botania, so that's nice to have around. And I got 4 wood golems in my reward bag. I'll put those in the ME system.
Nice.
Cool. And I'm going to keep this going in the background as much as I can to begin with, of more stone and more living wood stuff. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's right. We'll just have a little bit more living wood than, living stone than the other stuff on this one. That's fine. So I'll keep that going. In the meanwhile, I'm going to have a look at the first flower that generates some kind of mana. And it is, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I can't, so I'm going to look it up. So generating flora, it's called a daybloom. There we go. Let's look up the word daybloom. And we need 2 yellow, a blue and an orange. So 2 yellows. I think it's light blue and orange. So I'm just going to check that on the daybloom recipe that it's light blue. Yep, it is. And let me grab a second orange. There we go. So we want 1 yellow. Oops, I just realised I need a bucket of water. There we go. 1 yellow, 1 orange, and 2 blue. And then our seed on top. Oh, what did I mess up? Two yellow, 1 orange, 1 blue. Oh, I've not done that right, have I? Okay. So I needed extra yellow. Thankfully, if I break this, I actually get all my petals back, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. There we go. So we wanted 2 yellow, 1 orange, 1 blue, and we get our first daybloom flower. Alright, let's make ourselves another one of those. So 2 yellow, 1 orange, 1 blue, and the seed on top. Oh, I missed some of that. Orange and the seed. There we go. So now I've got 2 dayblooms. Let's grab some of this living wood and living rock. At some point, I'll probably automate the creation of living wood and rock, but for now, I'm not going to worry. Let me just clear off some of this dirt here. And we'll leave this as a separate system. And we'll just put in our day blooms here, which will start generating mana of some kind. And to prove that it's generating mana, right now it will be going into its internal storage, but it is generating mana. Right, let's check the quest book, see where we're at. So that gives us an extra 2 day blooms, and if you get some day blooms as well, Rolf, you can add them to the system.
Yeah. Day blooms.
And there we go. There we go. That's a fairly good start. Right, next on the quest book, it wants us to make a mana pool and a mana spreader. Right, so for that, you have to run around your farm, which you put like directly in front of the ME terminal, so you have to walk around the farm every time. You probably could have put it out to the side, man. Anyway. So, diluted mana pool, of which I'm going to make 2. And on top of that, I am going to make a mana spreader. And the mana spreader is just any colour petal with a living rock and a gold ingot. And it's like this, and that makes us our mana spreader. Good. Now there's a reason why I made 2. Let's make it so... do I want it up? I guess it doesn't need to be. Oh, it will do for future use actually, so that I don't have to mess around with it later. So let's actually put it so it's directed out this direction. And I'm going to place my mana pool down here. And the mana spreader here. So now what this mana spreader is going to do is take nearby day blooms, and you can see that when I hover over a day bloom, you can see it's linked to that mana spreader. And that mana spreader is pointed at this mana pool, and the mana pool actually has some mana in it. I'm just going to make a step here. And what we're waiting for is enough mana to come in that we can drop this mana pool in, because this is only a diluted mana pool. Once we've got enough mana, then we'll be able to make a proper mana pool. Okay. And I guess part of that is going to require waiting, I guess. Oh no, we're ready now. Good. So there we go. Now we've got a proper mana pool that I'm actually going to break this mana pool and replace it with a real one. There we go. And now we can hand in this quest. And that gives us a mana pump. I do not know what a mana pump does, so I'm going to have to find out. Let's see whether it's in the Britannia book. It might not be because it's from a mod. But what's quite nice is there's an
Maybe
index here. So
maybe it can pump out mana out of an mana crucible, or what's it called, and store it in a tank or something.
let's find out what mods it's from. Well, apparently it's from Britannia itself. Crazy. But it's not listed in here at all. So it must be fairly new, I guess. Let's check under the mana spreaders to see whether or not it's mentioned anywhere. No, I'll have to research what that is. But yeah, mana pump's kind of interesting that it now exists. And we've got our mana going into this pool here. We can take a look at how much mana is in it, which is just like a sliver. You can see how much is in the mana spreader, because it doesn't always pump out mana. It has to wait till it gets to a certain point. But everything's looking good there. Now, I am going to want to make a different flower type to generate mana a bit quicker. And preferably something not too expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the generating mana, and I'm going to have a look at potential things. Now there's a few unusual ones that have been added. Like for instance, a taint thistle. It says it derives sustenance from tainted runoff of magical experiments. It will suck up any such substance it can find and try to turn it into mana. So what we could do is from Forbidden Magic, by the way, this particular thing, is we could put some flowers in the Formcraft room and get it to send mana anywhere, and that will clear up all of the taint that might come from doing crafting. That might be something to do in the future. Let's have a look at... I think I'm going to end up with the same type. Here's another one, special flower. This is from Magic Bees. This is a begonia. Begonia is a solution to the problem of overcrowding. Any spare drones that we get, we can toss in and they'll turn into mana. So that's quite nice too. And I imagine I'll actually use that later. But I think I'll stick with an ender flame right now. And I need a red and brown mystical mana petal. So let me start off with those. So one red, one brown. And this may be a situation where we have to come back, but we'll see. Red and brown. Yeah, because this requires a fair decent amount of mana, I think we're going to have to come back for that in a little while. In the meanwhile, while we're waiting, I guess I can come up here. So you've got the planter installed. You don't have any upgrades in just yet, do you?
Yeah, because we don't really need the planter.
Oh, okay.
Because the crops themselves aren't harvested, so it doesn't need to replant them.
Okay. Are you generating me more seeds?
Yes, I am.
Is that what I can see? Fantastic. That'll be useful. And currently you've got the harvester here just going into a chest. And that's all it's doing
I turned
right
it
now.
off.
Is just the harvesting into a chest. That's fine. I imagine at some point we'll either put it into barrels or into the AE system. Probably.
Yeah.
Possibly the into barrels, because to be honest, like the stuff that until we get in later when we're actually doing some advanced agricraft where there's actually some crazy stuff, I think for the cooking materials at the very least, when we're making those, we'll just want them to go into barrels, but later on. And here's the thing, is that this mod pack is heavily reliant on agricraft for many things. We're going to end up with agricraft, so expect to see lots and lots of these farms around doing lots of various things on top of the roof of this UFO. Okay, I think because of waiting for mana, I've managed to get enough mana for one, but I'm going to have to wait ages for the brown one. We'll be back in a short while, and then hopefully I'll be able to make my ender flame. So yeah, see you in a minute. Right, and we're back, and we have more mana. Yay! So I can now drop my brown petal in there, and we need for the endo flame another red, another brown, and a light grey. So let's put that way and that way. So one red, one brown, and a light grey. So we take our bucket first and fill up the apothecary. One brown, one red, one normal brown, one normal red, one grey, and then a seed, of which has been crafted over there by Rolf, and we get ourselves an endo flame. And take some dirt, drop that in here, one endo flame, and I'm just going to rush over here very quickly and grab myself some coal. And we've got some blocks of coal already, so I'll just grab that. And by dropping it on top of the endo flame eats the coal. And with the wand here, we can see that it's going to have some mana being generated a lot faster now, and filling up the mana pool a lot quicker, which is good. We've also got that other diluted mana pool, the one we started off with. I'm actually going to transfer that in there because the diluted mana pool really has no use on its own. But that will help generate us some mana by using an ender flame. Let's have a look at the quest book again. And let's see whether or not that was even a quest, because it possibly was. Doesn't look like it. Could make ourselves another mana spreader, so maybe that will be a thing. So let me do that.
It's a redstone mana spreader.
It is, yep. Which might mean I need some redstone roots, which will be an interesting problem to have to try and solve, but I should be able to manage something. I don't have any petals on me. Let me grab a petal. I should probably grab like a stack of each colour petal to stick in the ME system, so that on the rare occasions I do actually need a vanilla crafting recipe, I've got them. I've just grabbed a selection for now, and that will be enough to get going with. So
Yeah, we've got enough.
yeah, oh definitely. Okay, so another mana spreader. And some petal, doesn't matter what colour, go with white, makes the mana spreader. To turn it into a redstone mana spreader, I believe you probably need redstone root, but I might be wrong, so I'm going to check. Oh no, just some redstone. That makes it a little easier for us, so good. Redstone mana spreader, good. That's kind of a way of sending signals in Britannia. It's like wireless signal sending. That will come later when I actually have a use for that. But I'm just going to put it into, well, I'll hand it in as a quest reward. And it gives us actually another normal spreader, so that's actually useful. But the redstone mana spreader itself is not so useful right this moment. Okay. So that's that done. Let's see what else is in the quest book. That is potential for us. Elven ones, maybe not. But I might be able to do something with rune creation. So let me take a look. How much of this living stone do I have? Not a lot. So I'll just get like a whole bunch of living stone created very quickly. We'll let that cook up. In the meanwhile, I want to make myself a runic altar. I'm not quite sure exactly what I need for it, so let's find out. A runic altar requires either a mana pearl or a mana diamond, and we've actually got quite a bit of ender pearls from our farm. So I'll grab an ender pearl and take that with me, and I may not have enough mana for this, but we'll see. We do. And that original block of coal is still running, hence why I didn't pick up the secondary one, so I just wanted to make a quick check. But it's good that we've got a mana pearl. Well, I had enough for that. The runic altar. Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the runic altar out to the side. And by taking the mana spread that I got from the quest reward, I'm going to place that over here. And over here I'm going to place our runic altar. And now, whenever we do crafting with this runic altar, it will send mana from our mana pool over to the altar over here. So, quick look at the quest book. Says that we need a rune of fire and water. And I don't think they're that hard to make. So let's have a look at the recipes for a rune of fire. 3 mana steel ingots, never brick, gunpowder, and never warts. Okay. So we may even have some mana steel from quest rewards, but we do not. Okay. So that's easy enough. We just need some iron. Never war, I think we got from a quest reward previously, so that's fine. I'll grab a couple. Okay, so I need it. What was the other thing I just said? Mana steel, never war, and never brick. Yeah. I think that's everything I need for that rune of fire. Yep. Oh, gunpowder was the last one, of which I know we've got lots of that too, so that's good. Gunpowder. So the way the runic altar works, this is another way of doing some kind of crafting, but I right click in and that places the thing inside it. So we needed 1 gunpowder, 1 nether brick. We're going to need 1 nether wart and 3 mana steel ingots, which you do by just chucking iron into the mana pool, like so. There we go. And now we'll take our mana steel ingots, and 1, 2, 3, and you can see them all circling there quite nicely. And if I got enough living rock, I do. Good. I may not have enough mana for this process, but we'll give it a go. How are we getting on over here? Ender Flame is no longer running, so I'm just going to chuck another block in on top. Generate us some more mana. Good. And with the wand, we can click on it and it will show that we're making a rune of fire. And all this green stuff that you can see blasting across here is mana bursts being sent into the runic altar. And I think just to make things a little easier, I'm actually going to create a little platform around here. There we go. Something that I can stand on to work on this stuff. Thankfully it doesn't take too long. And we're about halfway done, but we are out of mana. Can we sleep so that the solar ones kick in?
Yeah, sure.
How you getting on with your MFR farm?
It's pretty done. Just lighting it up a bit.
Okay, so putting the spice leaf back in, a little bit of spinach, nice. And we're about 3/4 of the way done over here. Are you going to add the MFR tree farm as well at some point?
I can make one.
I was just wondering if you are, because chances are we'll end up needing it at some point. Because I don't think we've got an awful lot of wood lying around. We've got some, but it's not like we're absolutely desperate. But the reason it's good to move to MFR for us, because the other tree farms that we were using needed a constant supply of tools, whereas this lot doesn't. Okay, we're almost done. So I'm just going to grab my living rock ready to go. And once this is full, or if you're not using the UI here with the wand, you can see that there's all these blue lightning sparks just coming up, which signifies that this is ready. We just chuck a piece of living rock on top and right click it with our wand, and we get our runes of fire. And yeah, it's just those kind of things. So I believe for our quest we also need a rune of water. So this rune of water, which I'm just going to probably pick that up, that's fine. 3 mana steel ingots again, some bone meal, some sugar cane and fishing rods, all of which we have. but I am going to do it off camera in between episodes, I think. In between episodes? Yeah, I think this episode's probably run on a decent length of time. So yeah, in between episodes, I will make the Rune of Water. And that will help us finish that quest. Next episode, we're probably going to go back to some more tech for a little bit. I think it's about time we fly. So I think next episode we're going to go and work on some kind of flight. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. That's always useful to read the comments. Also, if you've enjoyed, please leave a like or any kind of rating. Is always appreciated and helpful to us, so that's good. From myself, Fireweaver, and Rolf, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.